Okay, so I turn on the vehicle, and in the morning when you get to your vehicle, you turn it on or whatever, and just hit the power button. It's going to say system initializing, please wait a moment. At this point each morning it's going to actually download your updated route information if there's been any changes. If there haven't been any changes since yesterday, then it's just going to keep the same stuff that it had before. And then this is the main interface that comes up once it's loaded. You'll notice by default track students is highlighted. That is, for all intents and purposes, the main area which everyone's going to be working out of. So all you got to do is hit F1 for select or enter. They both do the same thing. So if I hit enter, it's going to take me into the track students screen. So now I essentially have a listing of the route for this vehicle that should match up with how you guys are already used to seeing the information. 301-67312 SA-AM PU-3 and then WC. So the way that information's in there, you should already be familiar with that based on the reports you're already getting. You'll have to forgive me that the first run doesn't have any students assigned to it yet, so I'm going to next stop. By hitting F2, you'll notice that says next stop and F3 is previous stop. I'm going to get this down to some of the later runs that do have stop information. One moment, I got to get to the second one. Okay, so we'll notice here we have 8:17 a.m., 5125 Greenwich Avenue, 2129, Williams, Madison. Then we have the COM field, the mobile assist field, etc. The same things that you're already seeing on those reports that you're getting. And if I hit F1, I come to the screen tracking student entry keypad. Madison Williams is there. If I hit 1, he's underlined, and for a normal pickup or drop off, all I have to hit is F1. And so then I just confirmed that particular student. Now at 827-102 Hillville Road, 2129, I have Bria Brown. Bria Brown, we have that same information. As they fill out anything in the COM field or the mobile assist field, that will get populated there. If I confirm, same thing. If, let's say this is an example of a no-show. Hit 1. Instead of just automatically hitting F1 after that, indicating a normal pickup drop-off, instead of doing that, because this is a no-show, I'm going to hit F4 for more. And then we'll notice that that F1 area changes to prob PD as opposed to norm PD. So now if I hit F1, instead of it just confirming it as a pickup or a drop-off, I get another range of options to select, 1 through 6. Not in list, no show, late at stop, not prepared, boarded at the wrong stop, no one home. So if it's a no-show, I would just go and use the down arrow to number 2 and then hit enter. If there was that question in the classroom earlier about, hey, what happens if I get called to do an additional stop and the kid hasn't been assigned yet, you could say not in list. Or if you go there and no one at all is home and you've checked it out, maybe your monitor or aide went out and confirmed, yeah, there's nobody there. You can just say 6, no one home. And then we get taken to the next stop.
Can I ask you one more question while you were there?
Sure.
Suppose it's the office call and actually pick up a kid. Okay, is that going to come up on the screen?
Not on this.
Only stuff that you would have on your route manifests are going to come up on this.
Okay, gotcha.
So then we have the next stop here. Same deal. I hit confirm. I have Calrod Smith. Select 1. It's underlined. I'm back at normal pickup. I hit F1. they're good. They've been picked up. Now I'm at the next place. And so essentially after they hit that normal pickup, go and drive to your next stop.
What's the difference between a no-show and not at home?
Really, you know, you could have just a level of definition. It could be either or. A no-show would maybe be if you were there waiting and you haven't confirmed, and you haven't gone and knocked on the door, so you saw if anyone's home, but nobody came out within the allotted time. Whereas if you did go and do that double check to see if anyone was around, then you could say, hey, you know, no one's there.
Did anyone talk to y'all about, like right now we have an attendance sheet that we have to fill out certain codes already designated by Baltimore City? Did they not say, well, hey, use these codes in your system, that way we already are familiar with the codes that we're already using versus the ones that you have up there?
Not on that. On certain things, yes. On that particular issue, no. I haven't been addressed with that.
I probably would suggest that we look at that, because we already use like no show, and then like say there's one that says school advised, where the school say don't go pick up that child, so we don't even go by that house.
Right.
So say for instance that name pops up and the school advised not to go by that house because the student doesn't go to the school. What's the designation that we would use? And one, we never even went by the house, and then two, what would the driver then choose if the thing populates up there? And say for instance that morning the parent calls and said don't even come by the house, I'm taking them to school. That's also on their current attendance sheet. So then the question would be, what would they put if base call and say the parents say don't come by there anyway?
Right. I think they posed me with that question yesterday, and I number one said we have the ability to make updates to this system and then have them pushed out over the air, so that then when you start it up, you'll be prompted for downloading an update, and then it can update different user.
Doing that on that one right now.
Yeah, doing different user feedback like that. If I can get that information, I can take it back to my office and I can bring it to the engineers and say, hey, ideally for these contractors, they're already doing this stuff in these ways.
Manual.
Can we go and update these code options so they're closer reflecting what their scenarios are? So,
so you would have to do that, the base couldn't do it. You have to send it through you first before the base upload it when they get the information right away to the system.
My point was, as we move on with this and we collect more information about what you guys are trying to achieve and how better understanding of what you're doing out there on the road when you're doing your deals, then we can incorporate more of that into what's served up on this interface. And then, so it's not an immediate thing. It would be, okay, we'll get those codes, we'll look over that information, we'll see what's the best way to present that information, then we'll come up with an updated version. And then at that point, once we've come up with the updated version, we'll push it out for download to the various systems. And then once we're there, when you power up, you'll be prompted to that there's a new version. Do you want to download it? Yes or no? And if you don't indicate anything within X amount of time, it's going to start downloading it. So it's kind of like you have so much time to indicate no. And that's how we can push out updates. And that's really the best I can respond on that at this point.
Okay. Also, next week, we're supposed to receive the route sheets for the upcoming school year. Is there anything, will this system be already up and running with those addresses and stuff in there for the dry runs?
It's pulling data directly from the MapNet Oracle database
that they're using now.
Yeah, so we have a connection to that system where it's pulling this data.
So next week, say for instance, we have 40 buses that we're utilizing. So when they do their dry runs, it would be detriment almost that they use that particular bus that they're going to use for that school year in order to do the dry run.
Yes.
And one more question. Will it already be mapped out, or you guys are already at it?
I don't think this is a map.
We're not mapping on here, and I don't want
we're
you
gonna
guys,
map our stuff.
Yeah, I don't want you guys telling the drivers to be like looking at this while they're driving or
Right.
anything like
This
this?
isn't a map. This is
Oh,
a when
no. Well-
when you stop. That's when you're supposed to use this.
Okay. Now, the only question I was asking, I wanted to know if they had a routine route that they wanted us to go.
Right. No, it's
No,
gonna be
we'll
in
work
order.
when we get the route.
just the regular
Yeah,
way.
when we get the routes from the city next week, we're gonna map quest them like we did this
Okay,
summer,
got it.
and then if there are changes to be made immediately, y'all are gonna have to let us know, so that we can let the city know, so that when y'all are going through your route, it's going according to the route that you're going. That's it. Because right now it's going to be based on what the city give you. It's no option for us to change it around and then show it in that system.
Let me ask one more question here. When you get the information from the routers, is it just merely the stop information and no directions?
Correct.
That's what I thought. We had asked questions about that, and that's what they were saying. But I hadn't heard it from you guys yet, so I just wanted to confirm that
Yeah,
that
that's
was.
what I was asking.
And so you guys
We do
essentially-
our own map quest.
Right.
All right, interesting. I'm hoping that as we transition to using the edulog system for routing as well, which will more than likely be for the next school startup. Instead of starting with Trapeze as the routing program, we're going to start with edulog. We're going to have the ability to provide route sheets that also already include driver directions in them. So you may still want to cross-reference that with MapQuest based on what your guys' already operating process is, but you will be getting that additional level of information as well. But just to summarize things again, if you hit menu, you get taken back to that first main screen. Drivers should only be concentrating on this track students section, so you go select, then it brings you into this screen, which has the run information. And I'm just going to get it to a stop that has some good students to show you. Confirm how that screen looks there. And that's where we designate a normal pickup. And I might have already confirmed this guy in an earlier session.
Are you pushing something up there?
Yeah, but I had already confirmed him, so it's not letting me do that right now.
So it's touch.
I couldn't see.
Yeah, it's touch.
So let me go back and find a later.
Ben, we either need to speed this engine up or shut it off.
Okay.
This idle is killing it.
Okay. Stop this for right now.
We can actually, move to that bus, and you don't